Take it away, Stefan.
Good evening, everyone. I guess this is my first meeting of District Needs and Budget. I guess I'm supposed to read like the rules, right?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll scroll over. There you go.
All right, so ground rules before the meeting. No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have questions about board business and wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click the participant icon and the participant panel should appear, and you should find, the participant panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulties, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. The chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about the agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having, or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane, okay, to the discussion. As many times as I've heard that, I swear I've never heard those two words. Members of the public, if you have a question or a comment about the subject on the agenda, please raise your hand through the Zoom and wait to be recognized.
Oops.
Okay, take it away.
You have to call the meeting to order and state the time.
Calling the meeting to order. It is 6:40.
Okay, I'll call the roll for you. Committee members, when I call your name, please answer present. Stephanie Arroyo.
Present.
John Green.
Here.
Zelma Lave.
Present.
Malik McCullough. Art Perez.
Present.
Dawn Sanders. Jason Villanueva. Michelle Wilcher Clement.
I'm here.
And Jason Wu.
Here.
You have quorum.
Good evening, everyone. Not sure if you guys had a chance to see the agenda, but we will move forward in adopting the agenda. And it's also the agenda that's on our screen. So what do I do now?
If there are no objections, the agenda is adopted as shared. You can skip the minutes. We will not have minutes for the previous meeting.
Okay. Okay, any announcements? Anyone have any announcements they'd like to let us know about? Since there are no more announcements, we'll move over with informational updates. I have no information. I'm not sure if Angel would like to provide us with any information.
Sure. So, as you all see, we have a new committee chair, Stephanie Arroyo. We just started a couple of weeks ago and would like to welcome her to the task, and excited to have her on board. I am Angel Mesquin. I'm going to put my camera in a second so you can see my silly face. Hi, and I am the district manager for Community Board 11. I also serve as the staff liaison to the District Needs and Budget Committee. The one informational update that I wanted to share relating to the work of this committee is that I met with the Department of City Planning, who has a team that's working on improving community engagement on the Statement of District Needs and Budget Request process. As you know, the Department of City Planning, together with the Office of Management and Budget, coordinate the statement process together with community boards. And each year they look to better inform community boards as to the process, help community boards engage with agencies. And more recently, they've really been focusing on finding ways to engage the larger community and the non-community board member in these processes to help inform. So they've been going around to different community boards and meeting with different district managers to hear from them suggestions for ways that they can assist in getting the public to participate in these processes, make it a more standard part of the process. The last 2 years, CB11 has, and a couple other community boards have also, we've put in place a community survey that we've received input on the last couple of years. Yet last year, we were particularly happy in how much response we got. We find that the level of response really kicked up depending on the amount of engagement that we did. We were proactive in engaging at community events last year, and that helped to push the response rate up. We hope that this year, with a bit more comfort with people going outside, that we are similarly able to hit more community events and push the survey to get folks to participate and get more responses to that. We found it very helpful and informative to last year's statements of refining and fine-tuning some of the positions that were being put forward. So that's the update that I have to share. You're on mute, Steph.
Thank you. We have two hands raised, Xavier and then Giselle, please.
Hey, staff and everyone. I don't know if you can all see me. I'm managing dinner right now, which is why I couldn't say at the very beginning to make an introduction. Thank you very much for accepting and taking on the responsibility, Stephanie, and you're in good hands working with Angel and Jason Villanueva will definitely help out. This was a committee that was founded when we changed our bylaws and enshrined it as part of our two primary standing committees of land use and budget. There's a lot to absorb as we go into next year's process. I'm wishing you all the luck, but obviously here's a resource. This was part of our baby, rolling it out several, 4+ years ago. So good, just going to be listening and look forward to seeing this committee really meet its full potential. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Giselle?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I also wanted to extend the congratulations to Stephanie. I'm excited to work with you and the committee for this upcoming year. I wanted to know, my question was, when do we have access to the survey for this year's budget?
So as soon as you all approve the work plan this evening, and I have that go ahead, then I'll share the link to the survey as well tomorrow morning. So I'll send the link to that, and I'll also be including it on our site and in our newsletter for the duration of the survey period.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing no more announcements, or we did the informational updates. I guess let's move forward. Okay, so preparing and reviewing the district needs and budget work plan for the fiscal year of 2024. As many of you will remember that are on this committee, we've done this before. We've done the work plan before. It kind of segues us and puts us in a uniform and what we're doing and moving forward. I believe Carly was the one who created it previously. And she was very instrumental in that. But we all had to make sure that we were inputting information on that. Moving forward, I want to continue to use the same work plan. I looked over it, and again, we've used it before, and it just makes sense for us to do it. So it's on the Google Drive as well, and we all have access to the Google Drive. I don't know how many new members are on here, but I guess Angel can talk about that.
Sure. I think we just have one new member right now, but we're about to do reassignments in the summer. So there might be a number of additions. I think there's a couple of vice chair positions that have to be sorted out. So there'll be some new additions. But like Stephanie was saying, in terms of the work plan, I'm glad that, you want to push forward with the same schedule. I only have 2 notes that are minor notes. There are 2 public hearings in the workflow, in the work plan, that were noted before as being hosted by the District Needs and Budget Committee. That needs to be corrected. It's now going to be, we can't hold public hearings in the District Needs Committee. It has to be part of the full board meeting. So the District Needs Committee will still coordinate that, and will still be point on that, but the hearing itself has to take place during the full board meeting. So like I said, it's a minor thing, but just something to be clearer on.
Cool. So does everyone already have access to it?
To the work plan?
Yes.
Yep, I sent that around with the agenda.
Got you. Cool.
Mhm.
I guess we can move forward. In regards to scheduling district budget consultations.
Sure. So it would be helpful to me if you all are agreeing on moving forward with the work plans as is, if you could take a vote on it just to formalize it before we move on to the next item.
So I guess can I get a show of hands of everybody who's already seen it? Like if we've already seen it, then I'm ready to do a vote, and I just want to make sure everyone has seen it. I'm assuming since there's no one raising their hand and no one speaking, we've all seen it, and I guess we can move forward in voting on it. So let's do that.
Yeah, so you need a motion.
Does anyone want to put in a motion?
I'll make let me raise my hand first, sorry. I'll make a motion to accept the work plan for the district needs and budget for fiscal year 2024 as is.
Do we need the motion to be second?
Yes.
Do we have anyone who can second this?
I can second it.
Hi. Okay.
Oh, it's Jason Wu, Stephanie.
Jason Wu? Okay,
Okay.
so Jason Wu for the second.
Mhm. All right. All right, so when I call your name, committee members, please answer with your vote. Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
John Green, Giselle Malave,
Yes.
Malik McCullough,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Don Sanders, Jason Villanueva, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Hear me?
I can hear you now. What's your
Oh.
vote?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Thank you, Michelle. Jason Wu,
Yes.
the motion carries. Thank you, folks.
Awesome. And Angel, can we side note, can we make sure that I get this, because I didn't receive the agenda or the work plan. I had only and today I didn't receive or the Zoom. I received that today when I called you. But neither here nor there. Let's move forward. Scheduling district budget consultations. Angel, if you want to go into that and explain that a little bit.
Sure. So in the budget process, it lays out the different steps in the budget exercise timeline. District budget consultations and borough budget consultations are 2 steps where at the district level, community boards, and at the borough level, all the district managers meet with the budget representatives for city agencies to discuss, to hear from the agencies what their plans and decisions are budget-wise, and to consult with those agencies on what the priorities of each of the community boards in our case, and in the borough level, in that case, what the priority, how the agencies' priorities are matching up with the needs of our communities and the recommendations of our community. It gives us an opportunity at the district budget consultation level specifically to get into finer grain detail about requests and the feedback loop as it relates to requests that we're making specific to our district. At the borough consultations, they're very informative, but by by the nature of those kinds of meetings, all the questions are, have a borough focus. So if there's a specific question about a project in our district that we need to raise, it's not appropriate in that space. So the district consultation gives us the opportunity to have that specific conversation. Over the last few years, we've picked back up as a community board in having these consultations. I'd say like the last 4 or 5 years specifically, with increasing success. There are some agencies that have been very responsive, and the meetings that we've had with them have been very fruitful. For example, the Parks Department is always excellent, comes very well prepared, gives us the information in advance, and works together with us in helping us to inform our budget requests, and giving us, clear responses to the things that we're submitting, to help us better, to help us improve what we're submitting. The Department of Transportation is also really good in the district consultations. And without going down the list, there's a number of agencies that are quite good at this. Now, the consultations are done in coordination with our respective committees that have oversight over those agencies. And while I, as district manager, coordinate those meetings and find a lot of benefit from having the meetings with the agencies, the process is much better when there is coordination with the committees, right? With the committee leadership on behalf of their committees, that we're preparing together for the consultations, figuring out what questions, like what our agenda is going to be in the discussion with the specific agencies, like what questions we wanted to, to bring up and that we need clarification on. That really, it seems like an obvious thing, but we haven't always had the best, coordination with our committees. The process is much better served by that coordination, right? So that the hope in the establishment of this committee and in the recent decision to appoint vice chairs for each committee to make up this committee, in addition to a couple of at-larges, is that hopefully those vice chairs could be a connection to the committee, and back and forth from this committee to their other respective committees. So for example, Michelle with public safety, right? If we work together to coordinate those questions and prepare for those conversations, it helps those discussions, but it also helps then what we're getting back, how the responses to those questions and how the conversations that we have with the agencies helps to inform the budget requests that we're submitting in the fall, versus it being, let's say, for example, we're making something up whole cloth that we haven't discussed with the agency to see what is feasible. We're submitting something that they're not able to do, right? For any number of reasons, right? So that's what the district budget consultations are. And typically we schedule them in July. Right now in June, the council and the administration are running through their hearings on the executive budget, and then entering into negotiations to get to the adopted budget at the end of the month. So once they're done with that, then we start sending out our invitations to get them in, to get the agencies in for these district consultations in July. Ideally, we'll try to schedule them as early in July as possible, because later in July and in August particularly, it becomes increasingly hard to schedule agencies for meetings because people start disappearing on vacations. And then for our process, it's also ideal to have the consultations done in July, so then the feedback can come back in to the preparation of the draft statement of needs that starts being written, start being refined in August. So we need enough time to start tightening that up to have something for you all to consider at your committees come September.
Oh, and when they come to me, they come to me at the committee meetings, correct?
The consultations, no, the consultations are a separate meeting.
Got you. So that would have to, we would have to take time during the day to meet with these agencies.
Excuse me. So yeah, so what I'll do is the staff and I will coordinate the meetings and try to schedule them at a time that works with the representative for each of our committees. So yeah, typically during the day.
Would it only be the executives of each committee? Like the chair of each committee?
So I always work through the chair of the committee.
Okay.
So either they can come or they can send their vice chair, since the vice chairs are sitting on budget. But they can decide, but I'll coordinate that with the chair of the committees
And then
and
from my
and with
understanding,
you, as chair of this committee.
sorry about that. So, and from my understanding, everyone who's on district needs and budget is also in another committee. Are they also the vice chairs of each committee, or did that not?
So, yeah, so yes.
Gotcha.
So this committee is comprised of the vice chairs of all of our committees. And there are 2 or 3 at-large members that were retained from before we made that switch. So like Jason Wu and you before you got put to this position, and now John.
So there is an opportunity for our vice chairs who are in this committee to also be present at these consultations.
Yeah, there's no restriction on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I want everyone to keep that in mind, because we know from experience that our other committees have a lot of work to do, and sometimes the district needs and budget kind of like gets away from them. And so since we're all in this group, I want to make sure that those consultations are getting done and someone from those committees are actually presented and are asking the questions that we need answered. So I guess I just want to put that out there. So would we be scheduling? Well, we would have to wait till we figure out what happens with the budget, which should be by the end of June, and by July 1st, they need to sign off, right?
Yeah, so that's happening. We don't have to wait to do the invitation. So then they're just not going to agree to come because they're busy doing their agency work. But what I'll do after this is I'll start reaching out to our committee chairs and, about coordinating the question, like figuring out the questions, and then figuring out availability. And then I'll start, shooting out invitations to the committee chairs, to the agencies. And it also depends on if the committee chairs are interested in having those consultations, right? Like it's not, mandated that, for example, the housing committee has to, sit in on a consultation. It's, it's absolutely beneficial. But, like the committees have to express that interest, the committee chairs have to express that interest in participating in that.
But if the committee chair doesn't have the time or isn't able to be there, we can definitely have the vice chair there. And
Yeah, for sure. And I'll still be meeting with the people.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So like, for example, HPD, I'm always gonna meet with. Right.
mean-
It's just like really much better if I have my housing and land use chair with me, right? Or whoever representing that committee. It's even better. But irrespective, like that's too important in agency to not have a consultation.
Got you. All right. I mean, does anyone else have any questions? I don't know. I don't see any hands.
Giselle has her hand up.
I have
Just
a
go ahead.
question. So pretty much the plan for July is for us to go back to our committees, have a discussion with our chairs in terms of, our district budget consultations, who we want to meet with, what things we need to be addressed with what agencies, and then report back to district needs and budget in July and August, or in September.
I'm sorry, say that again. I lost your train there.
So our homework pretty much in this committee is to go back to our committees and
Yep.
have a conversation with our chair, the one that we always have every year in terms of our district budget consultations, the agencies that we want to meet with, what things have to be addressed. And we report back in July, in August, or in September to this committee or to Angel.
Right. So the reporting back to this committee is the next item on your agenda, right? Like you all need to figure out if you want to meet in the summer or not. I strongly suggest that you do, but I also understand that people take off. So it might be difficult. But in terms of any coordination that this committee wants to do, preparing for a town hall if it wants to have that, or, coordinating the district consultation conversations, reviewing the responses that we get from the input survey later in the summer and the response that we get from the consultations, plus any other, deliberation that the committee wants to have. Like, you all need to tell me if you want to meet. I suggest that you do. I think it's helpful versus just showing back up in September, which is practically impossible. But I understand that, the summer is the summer.
And that would
Right,
be in August, right?
So you can meet whenever you want. Like, nobody else is meeting, so you can have every day is available to you.
I
But-
think we should meet as well. It would be helpful if we can like get the survey out, have the conversation with our own committees, come back with something to talk about in July. But I agree to meeting in July.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I guess we should take a vote on that. Can we take a vote on that now, or?
Yep.
Yeah, so let's take a vote on us meeting in July.
May I ask a question first?
Sure.
Before all of, we need to gather up information. However, are we going to be meeting via Zoom so that if we are all over the place, because there will be people on vacation, there will be people not necessarily where they usually are. If we can set up a Zoom meeting, then we would get all of us as opposed to none of us, or one or two or three of us. You know what I mean? Is that possible?
I get what you're saying, but I believe that the open meeting when is it changing, Angel? Like,
So we gotta, like, I sent that email yesterday telling you all that we can continue being remote until June 27th. After that, then we cannot have fully in-person meetings unless they issue another executive order. So we then would shift to the hybrid meetings, which requires the committee members to be in person unless they meet certain criteria that were laid out in the resolution that you all adopted at the last full board meeting. And then in that case, if a member were to meet that criteria, then they could participate remotely. The others would have to be in person.
so our meeting in July would have to be in person.
Yep.
Another question?
Go ahead. Thank you, Michelle.
Would we need to have a quorum to have that meeting, being it is a gathering to discuss what we may or may not want to do in September?
So all board meetings, whether committee or full board, require a quorum in order to be a meeting.
So this definitely would have to be an in-person meeting in July.
Yes.
So also our town hall, if we opted on doing a town hall, that would have to be in person as well. Correct.
No, the town hall is not a board meeting.
Okay, so that
Yep.
could be through Zoom.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, if anyone has any other questions. I don't see any more questions. I mean, we can move forward on voting on, can we move forward on the date, or can we just move forward on, we're gonna choose to have a meeting in July? Do we have to have a date?
You don't have to have a date.
Can we have a date? I mean, if
Yeah,
I mean,
it might be best
answer
to have
each other through email what date works best, but I think the
Yeah,
sooner.
if I could, I would suggest, if you want to vote on, yes, we want to meet in July, I think you can do that. And then why don't you all just figure out via email what date works? And then we'll post that once you've settled on the date.
that works for me.
The only requirement I would have is not the only, the requirement would be that I have to post it in advance of the meeting. So ideally a week, no less than 3 days. So if you're meeting on the 8th, I need to post it on the 1st. Ideally, that's the best scenario.
I guess let's move forward on, Jason, did you want to say something?
First and foremost, congratulations, Madam Chair. I so apologize for being tardy. Definitely missed this on my calendar, but yeah, I wholeheartedly believe it is in the interest of our constituents, this district, and our members to ensure this town hall happens. I do understand the challenges being expressed. There's things that are being juggled, but I do believe that it's a lot easier to cancel than it is to schedule. And I believe that we should go forward with the thought of setting up this meeting for the constituents to be able to express, their positions on our district needs. We did it last year virtually, fortunately. But yeah, it is a challenging situation that I think we can take into interest for selfishness, personally speaking, but selflessly for the people that need to have their voices heard and the CBOs in our districts that need the opportunity to get involved in this process. I think it's something that we've been working on for a long time and we should definitely make happen. That was just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Jason. Arturo?
Hi, I just gotta say, I really can't vote for July until I know what the date is. Because number one, I'm going on vacation on some days in July. And I'm also going on 2 conferences. So especially if it's an in-person meeting, I can't say whether I'll be able to attend or not.
Well, I mean, I think the idea is we have to know if we're even going to have a meeting to then vote for a date. If by chance, and I hope that's not the case, but if by chance we vote that we are not choosing to meet, then there would be no reason to move forward in working out a date. So I think that's the idea behind that. Anyone else? I guess let's move forward on voting if we're going to have a meeting in July. Angel,
Need a motion.
anyone want a motion? Jason?
Motions to schedule a meeting in the month of July to host a community district needs town hall.
John, are you second that?
Yes, and congratulations.
I have a question before that. Is that meeting for a town hall or for us? Because I thought it was just for us, not the town hall.
Yeah, I think that got a little confused there.
Yeah, that was Jason. Yeah, you had said that was for the town hall, but this was a meeting for us. Do you want to change that, or did you want to just have the town hall and not?
Yes.
So we can have it on the record. Can you state fully what your motion is?
Motion to schedule a committee meeting in July
Thank you.
2022.
Thank you. John, are you still seconding that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Giselle Malave,
Yes.
Malik McCullough,
Yes.
Art Perez,
Yes.
Don Sanders, Jason Villanueva,
Yes.
Michelle Wiltshire Clement. Michelle, did you say abstain?
Yes, I said that.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. Jason
Sorry.
Wu? That's all right.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Awesome. So I guess since we heard from people who want to come up with an idea of a date, can we do that today, or would that be too much, Angel? For a meeting in July?
To schedule the meeting date?
Yeah.
Oh goodness, don't do that to yourselves. Just start an email thread and figure out a date. Yeah, you could be here all night.
Jason, did you want to say something? Jason, you're on mute. Oh, nothing? Okay. All right. So do we talk about doing a town hall now? Are we gonna have a town hall? So is that something that has to happen, or is that something that we can choose to happen?
So that's optional. That's up to you all. Yeah, we had one last year. I thought it went really well. I agree with Jason on that. But it's absolutely optional. It's up to you.
Gotcha. And the town hall, this is previous to the surveys, right?
They're running at the same time.
Gotcha. So at the town hall, we can also request for people to fill out the surveys.
Yep,
For the
we can keep pushing
surveys,
that. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
But the town hall, like we'll have like speakers, you know, if we can get like electeds to come, that'd be great. But also we want to like hear from folks, like, you know, hear testimony from folks in the community on what they, you know, identify as needs and requests.
And you said that can, since it's a town hall, that can be Zoom.
Yes, yes.
Can it also be hybrid? Do we have the technology to do that?
We could get the technology to do that, to do it hybrid.
You didn't sound very.
I'm not a fan of hybrid, but yeah, it's just the way of the world.
Gotcha. I mean, so if you guys, if we want to discuss this, does anyone have any thoughts about this? Do we think we don't want to do this? Do we want to have a conversation before we start voting? I think a town hall is a great idea. Arturo, please go ahead.
I just have a quick question.
Go ahead.
What date, do we have an idea of the date of the town hall?
So what we did last year, we did it late in July, and in the work plan, it also indicates late in July. It didn't set an exact date. So a week date, late in July, or actually scratch that, late July. You all can decide whether you want it to be a week date or a weekend.
That being, Arturo, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off. With that being said, can it be early August? Or by August, are we too late?
It's not too late, but in fairness, like work has to be done on that. So the quicker we have a cutoff so we can start on drafting, the easier it is.
And when do we cut off our surveys?
I would say that like the last day in July.
Gotcha. Arturo,
Because that all needs to be reviewed, and it takes a while.
gotcha.
And you know, like I take vacations too, so.
Arturo, you still have your hand raised. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my only concern is I'm definitely not available the last week in July. I'm on vacation, I'm out of town. I'm not going to join the Zoom meeting during that period. So I just want to state that.
I get it. We all have stuff going on. Understandable. I really would. Let's make sure that we try to work around everybody's schedule to be there for the meeting, because we definitely should be there for that meeting. And I understand it's in person. You know, unless you guys fit the criteria of it being through Zoom as an individual, but as a group, we have to meet in person. So I really want to make sure that we work on that. In regards to the town hall, you know, that's pretty much for the whole community, right, Angel? It's to engage as many members of the community that
Right. Yeah. We're wanting to hear from the community. Yeah.
And also, it might be a great time for us as a community board and whole to like go out and engage with people. It's been a while since we've been outside and we've met with people and been around people. So this might be a good time for us to re-engage the community, because there was, we've been in lockdown, so we got to be outside and stuff.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah. Anyone else have something to say before we take a vote on the town hall, if we're gonna do a yes or no? Michelle?
Hi, I also agree with Arturo that if it is something that is the first week in August, that it just, I'm not as busy. So I cannot in good faith agree to anything that that's held in the last week of August, since I would not personally be able to be there. Last week of July, excuse me. Since I personally would not be able to be there. So if it's something that is in the first week of August, then I can vote on something saying, yes, I would be interested in fully partaking and helping out with putting it together.
I mean, again, you know, we are in service of the community in its total, right? So in regards to our meeting, I really hope we can work something out where we're all there, or at least we reach a quorum. In regards to the town hall, again, this is to meet people who aren't coming to the meeting. So, you know, Michelle and Arturo, have a great freaking vacation. Just make sure that you're letting people know that we're having a town hall who may be around, who may have the ability to go through Zoom, because I'm hoping we can do it hybrid, because I'm hoping that'll work better. We'll have more people come through that way. But again, I think I would urge people to think about this, that this is not, the town hall is not just for us. The meeting is for us. The town hall is for the community at large. And Michelle, if you want to keep going, go ahead.
For the town hall, are we not, isn't it something that we want full attendance of all of the district needs individuals, and in gathering up? I'm getting another, someone else is asking you a question at the same time. Forget it.
I mean, yeah, we want everyone to be there. That's the idea for the town hall. But the town hall is primarily so we can get the community at large. So if unfortunately, you know, there are people who are committed to all these committee meetings and are here for everything else and can't be there for the town hall, I don't think that's gonna be counted against you. You know, we all have to take vacation, like Angel says. But if anyone else would like to have a discussion on this, and I don't see any more hands, let's move forward on voting if we will have a town hall in the last week of July. Can I have someone motion that, please? Jason?
As I motion to host the Community District Needs Town Hall the last week of July.
Thank you. John, is your hand up to second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, Stephanie Arroyo,
Aye.
John Green,
Aye.
Giselle Malave,
Aye.
Malik McCullough,
Aye.
Art Perez,
No.
Don Sanders, Jason Villanueva,
Yay.
Michelle Wiltshire Clement. Did you say no?
No.
Okay, thanks. Jason Wu,
Yes.
the motion carries.
Thank you. So I guess we're moving on to the next slide, right? Yeah, we're moving on to the next slide.
So just the last, so participating and providing support on community engagement efforts. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jason.
I would so love to volunteer to help out with this portion of it. Definitely would, you know, step up to do anything that I think the staff is going to definitely need a lot of support in ensuring we get the message out. And I know we can have some more discussion in July, since we're going to have a meeting in July. But I definitely, yeah, I volunteer. I would love to help out and figure out more creative ways to get these surveys into the hands of our constituents.
Thank you, Jason. I mean, maybe Jason and Angel could talk to this, but like, what are the expectations of providing support?
So like, I think the providing support is talking about like the engagement piece. So like figuring out what events to go to, and if we're going to be doing our own events, like coordinating how to make those things happen. That's what this point is going to. Like the first, I think, lowest hanging fruit is already scheduled community events, right? Like, all summer, every elected has something, and every community-based organization has something else. So there's plenty of events to go and table at, so we can, promote the community board and, catch, folks to respond to the survey, to fill out the surveys, and, promote and get folks to fill out the survey. And then if you all wanted to do, something on your own, coordinate an event, other than in addition to the town hall, then, it would be really helpful. Like, of course, the staff's always available, but if we could, have another set of hands, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 7, that's always welcome, right?
Definitely. Giselle?
I have I'm not sure if we've tried this before, but you know how we use our phones to kind of pull up a barcode, what is it?
QR.
A QR code to get into like a menu at a restaurant or whatever. But maybe if we can have that same QR code printed and put them, like I would personally put it in front of my store in the front, right? And then whatever, if I choose to give a discount to someone who fills it out and shows me that it's done, then that's my personal choice. But if we can put it on the storefronts, maybe put it on the buildings, I think people could just take out your phone and maybe have access to it like that, because they'll visually see the barcode and just maybe out of curiosity scan it, and then of course it can have like what the code is, right, what it pertains to. Please fill out your concerns regarding our community needs. I don't know if that's been done before, but I would be open to doing that.
I want to say we did it last year, but I can't remember. Jason, you wanted to say something?
We absolutely did it. We already have the QR code too for this year's survey as well. The survey has been up since May. I apologize for missing the first half of the meeting. But yeah, the survey has been up since May. It's been advised to the chairs of existence, so that way we can have this conversation going. A lot of the initiation of us starting in June was the thought of, of kicking all this stuff off. So yeah, Giselle, definitely exists. I believe once, I formally turn over with giving the chair the minutes and all the stuff that I have for this next portion, it'll really assist in us getting data out there to all the committee members, honestly. So I'm really excited for that. So some of the things I checked off just from listening, community events, wholeheartedly agree. My big ticket was CBOs. It automatically made me think of the 2 members that unfortunately aren't going to be able to be there for district needs. So any communications that we can have to make sure that, any relevant organizations or constituents that you are concerned with, as of course, as board members, let alone district needs members, I definitely want to ensure we get them an opportunity to be at the survey today, to be available maybe on your behalf or for whatever challenge that they see is presented in the district. Individual events, I already thought of the Puerto Rican parade that Mr. Miskane was so nice to send us the notice for. So we'll definitely make sure the surveys get out to all the elects. And the last piece, which I do find interesting from Giselle's part, is volunteers. A lot of I operate with a great organization that does a lot of efforts for the district. So I definitely would look at some of the CBOs in our district to assist with that process. But any committee members that, are willing to get together, maybe with a small group, and, we print out some flyers and, make sure we willingly do it the right way to not encroach on other people's property, and ask them if they would be interested in posting our survey. I'm not the best with social media personally. So I know that's the new wave for the 21st century. You see, I even forget to schedule meetings. So I'm not the best with that stuff. So I would ask, like, if anybody's who's like, all up in the digital world, that could get that survey out and the word out I think that would be a really big plus this year, as well as if anybody else would be interested in more of the field work, which is kind of the word I'm taking from Giselle and Angel's perspective of what needs to happen with boots on the ground, right? With people working in the district to make sure we could get the surveys out. I think it'd be a great plus. Last year we did it through, just to give an example, you know, we just pretty much set up some tables on 125th Street on Park Avenue, right underneath the Metro North. You know, so, I believe some of you were able to share some of your time, and we just, you know, we stood out there for a few hours, helped people fill out the surveys, and you know, and then of course, I always feel the challenge is the digital part. You know, how do you go viral?
I'm sorry, your hand's still up. Did you?
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna lower it, but I do agree. Like I last year we had the only problem that I think I had posting it on social media was that the link. It would be nice if we get the link, we can then post it, and all they have to do is once they see it on your story or your page, they can just kind of click it and it'll take them straight to the survey. I'll put my hand down.
So from some of the members that are here, I think Jason mentioned that some of you guys are part of CBOs. Are you guys like willing to maybe give out flyers at your organizations, or share the QR codes or anything of that nature? Crickets. I see no hands up. Oh, Arturo, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm the CEO of the Puerto Rican Neighborhood Health Center.
Awesome.
We have lots of flyers, lots of information. We have our own QR code. So absolutely, I would very much like to do that. I mean, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to be at the town hall, you know, because that would be a great opportunity, you know. I thought, but I could maybe perhaps send someone else. I'll have to see who's available.
Yeah, and getting the information out to the community would be like a great help, great resource. I mean, maybe not just even the town hall, just getting the information that we have a survey out there and people could fill out, because that's basically what we need. We need people to give us what they think this district needs, what they think should be on our top priority, because that's basically what we're doing. We're basically taking all this data and information, putting it all in one place and saying, and just inputting like, okay, because of all the information we received, this is what this community has designated as a priority. And this is what, as a community board, we're going to work forward to making sure that we either get the funding or, you know, we make sure people know that this is a community need. So in any way that we can do that, I think maybe if we can also share the events, Angel, that are happening that we do know of, that we may want to table, we can get like 2 or 3 people who may want to go, or who have the time to go. It doesn't always have to be the district need and budget committee members. It could be other community board members as well. And so since we all know someone who's on the community board, you know, if you can't make it, you can also let other people know, hey, we need your help on this. This is all hands on board. We want to make sure all hands on deck. I don't know how that saying goes, but we want to make sure everybody's on the same page, and we're just making sure that we're engaging the whole community, that we're not just always doing the same little clusters that we get. We want to open this up to the community at large. So any way that we can do that would be nice. Angel, again, I don't know if that's something we can share, like
yeah, of course. So we share events in the newsletter, and we have a community events calendar on our website.
Yeah,
and I can create a list and send it off to you guys as well.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel, because I know Carly was the Google guru there. I don't know if maybe you want to open up, or maybe I'll create a Google and just share it with you, and you can share it with the community board, and we'll put a list of events that are going on and maybe who would like to go and table them. And I'm assuming community board can lend us the table and
Yep.
information and all that stuff that we need. I'm happy to amend any of the sites that are going on. You know, I do definitely think the festival is next week, next Saturday. I don't know how many of us will be out there. Are we going to be tabling the event, Angel?
No, I'm not aware of any community board members tabling at that event, and the office is not.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe we can put flyers out there. Do we have flyers with the QR code?
Well, not yet. You just told me about it. We can create it for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that something that we would have to vote on?
No. To distribute flyers, you mean? I'm sorry.
The creation of flyers or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. So I guess we'll move forward because there's nothing to be voted on in regards to participating and just providing support. I guess what we can do is just share a list of events. Maybe from that list of events, I'll create a Google Drive where we can input and we'll share with community board at large, all community board members, and then we can kind of put a list of who will man which sites of the sites that we're already going to be tabling. Does that work?
Good idea.
Does that work? I'm sorry, Angel, I didn't hear what you said. Does
Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
work?
I said that was a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to vote on that? Okay, so I guess we can move forward on the next agenda piece. Do
I
we
have
have,
my hand up. Can I ask a question?
oh, I apologize, Jewel, I apologize. Go ahead.
In terms of what you were just discussing earlier, in terms of community engagement and all of that, keep in mind the community advisory boards, the CABs. I'm a member of the Metropolitan Hospital CAB, so keep that in mind. Harlem Hospital CAB. I don't know who the person on the board that represents the Harlem CAB, and we have an annual public meeting. Actually, it's occurring this month. I realize you're talking about things that are happening in July, but if the survey's up now, I can, make sure the word is out that people can go to the survey and provide their input.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Angel, if we can I guess if we can share the Google, because it is a Google Forms, the survey. And if we already have the QR code, if we can share that at least with this group, and then we'll work on sharing it with all of CB11.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Joel. That'd be great. You said you're on the cab of which one? Was it Metropolitan?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else? I don't want to miss people. I'm kind of blind sometimes, so please, it's not on purpose. If not, then we'll move forward. Looks good. Okay, old business? Anything? I'm going on you and Angel and Jason. I don't know if we have any old business no? New business? Anyone has anything? No? I guess let's do roll call so we can get out of here. I'm gonna try to be just like Jason and have early meetings. Yes, because guys, I know the full board is forever and we don't want our committee meetings to be forever too. Go, Angel, do your roll call.
Stephanie Arroyo,
Here.
John Green,
Out.
Giselle Malave,
Here.
Malik McCullough, Art Perez.
Here.
I got you, Malik. Don Sanders, Jason Villanueva,
Here.
Michelle Wiltshire Clement,
I'm present.
Jason Wu.
Here.
You have quorum.
Awesome. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Good night, all.